Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of News in 2 Minutes, bringing you the news that you need to know. Let's begin. Following continued unrest after the unseating of ex-President Mohamed Morsi in Egypt and the outing of the hardline Islamic group, the Muslim Brotherhood, contacts within the country are reporting a growing sense of insecurity and talks of terrorist activity after a bus bombing earlier Monday morning marked one of the first times that tourists have been targeted by warring factions of what are said to be anti-government terrorist organizations. Renewed violence between anti-government protesters and the Ukrainian authorities turned deadly in the country's capital today as a growing number of civilians are said to have died during unrest and massive anti-authority protest when security forces moved into the gatherings to disperse the dissenters. Both the country's interior minister and hardline security services leadership have set a deadline for the cessation of unrest, saying that unless the disorder stops by 6 p.m. in Ukrainian time today, security forces will move to restore order by all means currently allowed by law. Human rights groups warn that short of concessions by both the ruling government and the protesters, Ukraine may be headed for a lengthened passage of unrest, increasingly violent crime, and the possible growth of violent anti-government groups. Authorities in Vietnam have confirmed that the H5N1 variation of the avian influenza virus has spread in large numbers to at least 11 provinces within the country, with multiple scientists in the region stating that the explosion of cases was both unexpected and larger than usual. After the outbreak was detected in multiple villages of the country, officials in Hong Kong have declared a ban on all poultry and poultry-related products from Vietnam, as the entire continent of Asia continues to struggle with the highly virulent disease that officials say is only steps away from becoming the world's next pandemic. Scientists reported a large filament eruption on the sun's western limb that caused a Type 2 radio burst, briefly interrupting communication clarity on Earth, and highlighting the fragile nature of Earth's reliance on electronics and their susceptibility to solar activity. Agencies are reporting a growing sectarian war between Christian and Muslim groups within the Central African Republic, with reports suggesting that roving gangs of anti-Muslim protesters are said to be searching entire villages house to house, where they are attempting to clear the region of those with opposing faiths. And to wrap things up, multiple deaths are being reported in the capital of Thailand as security forces are continuing to clash with anti-government protesters in the country's growing incident of civil disobedience. The World Health Organization is reporting at least 8 confirmed cases of the deadly H7N9 virus in China, as disease experts are said to be suggesting tightened quarantine and isolation measures, and Egypt has charged a number of people within the country as spies for Israel's intelligence agency as tensions between the two countries continues to grow. And that's it for this episode of News in 2 Minutes. Check back tomorrow for more news that the aware need the most. This week's News in 2 Minutes is brought to you by SHTFplan.com, where even the officials go for news, and SQmetals.com for all your precious metal needs.